Constellation has a cabinet full of brands. But can this liquid indulgence pour profits into your portfolio? With an uncertain future for imports in the American economy,
That product is going to just flow across the border into the United States. That's not going to happen. They're going to have a tax to pay, a border tax, substantial border tax.
can Constellation Brands maintain their high spirits?
Ever since the election, many investors have been terrified about an idea that Republican leaders keep talking about in Washington, so-called border tax on foreign imports. Some Congress members want to work it into any tax reform proposal so it doesn't blow up the deficit. The idea that this thing is even a possibility has scared people out of high-quality stocks like Constellation Brands, the longtime Cramer fave liquor company that imports Corona, Modelo, and Pacifico, the world's most popular Mexican beers. Constellation is also a major purveyor of craft beers, a Ballast Point brand, and fine wines like the Red Hot Prisoner brand and harder spirits like High West Distillery. Yep, if you were worried about Washington, you missed the fact that Constellation is doing incredibly well. Today, the company reported a blowout quarter, 12-cent earnings beat off a $1.36 basis, higher than expected revenue, incredible cash flow, strong guidance for the company's 2018 fiscal year. Stock rocketed up $10, more than 6%. Strongest stock in the market. Totally gettable if you didn't let the political headlines freak you out. That was the small picture. Big picture is huge profits. This, the fastest growing consumer packaged goods company in America, and it hit an all-time high today. So let's check in with Rob Sands, the president and CEO of Constellation Brands, find out more about the quarter and his company's prospects. Mr. Sands, welcome back to Mad Money.
Thanks, Jim. Nice to be here.
Rob, this was an amazing quarter, and I know that the previous quarter, the people started freaking out, thought there was a little weakness. You put that all behind you. People were worried about the border tax. Not a single analyst asked about it. When you have unbelievable results, does it quell a lot of the inquiries that really kept people out of the stock?
Yeah, I think that it's hard to ignore this level of performance. I mean, company continues to fire on all cylinders. It was an amazing year. You know, net sales up 12%, EPS up 24%. And as you said, very strong guidance for next year. Our first calendar quarter is already under our belt. And, you know, I'd say all the trends are continuing exactly as they have been during our last fiscal year. So we are extremely optimistic.
Rob, last time a ton of questions about border tax. No one even mentioned. Is that because it's not going to happen, or is it because it really won't matter because people are still going to drink Modelo, Corona, and Pacifico?
Yeah, you know, it's true. I didn't get a lot of questions in the conference call on border tax. You know, our view on it is that we're not going to sit around and worry too much or try to base our decisioning on, you know, the probability of this occurring. You know, fundamentally, we've got strategies in place if it does occur, and, you know, if it doesn't occur, that'll be great too. So we can really go either way. I'd say that if you were reading the tea leaves right now, the best you can say is that the probability of it occurring has diminished, but no one really knows at this point what's going to happen with tax reform.
Absolutely. But, Rob, one thing is incredible. You, throughout your call, I don't think people understand this, but you often talk about your growth, but particularly against your categories. I mean, you are the biggest provider of growth to this entire beer industry.
Yeah, that's true. It's really not the beer industry. It's what we call TBA, total beverage alcohol. And we contributed 25% of the entire growth in the entire beverage alcohol business in the United States. Now, that is more growth than the three next competitors contributed to beverage alcohol growth in the U.S. So, you know, we are by far the leader in growth in what is literally the most important category to retail food and beverage merchants in the United States.
Right, and also the cash flow here and the organic growth. Beer 13%, but cash flow $522 million goes to $789 million, and you bought back 7.4 million shares. So that weakness that we had during this period, whether it be because of the border tax or not, you used to buy a ton of stock.
Yeah, as you said, we bought back $1.1 billion of our own stock at average price of about $151, and here we sit today at the moment at $171. So it's looking like a good decision, Jim.
It sure does. Now, one of the things I came across, and you and I have talked about this, Pacifico might be the next big one.
Well, I think the Pacifico is going to be the next big one. All of a sudden, the growth on Pacifico has jumped up to high double-digit growth. I think 20% in the fourth quarter. And, you know, we don't really see any end to it. We introduced this 24-ounce can, which has been a blowout SKU. And, you know, we really do think that Pacifico is going to come right on the heels of Corona and then Modelo Especial as the most popular imports in the United States. So, you know, our whole strategy is about lining up high-margin growth driver behind growth driver, whether it's in wine, beer, and spirits. And that's why, you know, we acquired brands like Meiomi and High West in addition to the rest of our great portfolio with brands like Robert Mondavi and, needless to say, Corona and Modelo Especial. So, you know, as I said, I think that the strategy is working extremely well.
Now, Rob, there was a moment where you talked about how Hispanics, big consumers in America of your beers, did not drink as much in the fourth quarter, perhaps because of the election, but that market has really come roaring back.
Yeah, actually, that's not quite what I said. I said that there was some indication that Hispanic consumer confidence was lower in the fourth quarter, which we believe, and you know, for a lot of the obvious reasons, we believe that's the case. But, you know, it does appear that consumer confidence in general and Hispanic consumer confidence is getting better and stronger as we move into the first and second quarter of 2017.
Also, I wish the analysts had asked for more about Casa Noble, about High West, and about Ballast Point, because all of these seem to be the fastest growers in their categories.
Well, plus they're very fast-growing categories. Craft beer continues to be one of the fastest-growing categories in beverage alcohol, and tequila, and obviously rye and bourbon. The brown spirits, American whiskeys, are also the strongest categories in the beverage alcohol business. So, you know, we're incredibly well positioned in those categories. And able to take full advantage of the growth in those categories.
Well, Rob, congratulations. You're the fastest growing company in the entire consumer packaged goods industry, and you deserve it. Good to see you, Rob Sands, President and CEO of Constellation Brands. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Thank you.
This one's not done going higher. STZ. It's a terrific stock. All-time high today. Mad Money's back after the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.